My fiancée lied about her past relationships and got exposed at the engagement party. I walked out. Now she is desperate to reconcile. I'm 29, male, and up until recently, I thought my life was pretty set. Steady job, good friends, great relationship. At least that's what I believed. I was engaged to someone I thought was it for me, someone I was ready to spend the rest of my life with. Her name was S, and we'd been together for 2 years. 2 years where I genuinely thought we were building something real. Then the engagement party happened. It was supposed to be a small thing, nothing crazy. Just close friends and family at my parents' place. Drinks, food, everyone hanging out, celebrating. My mom had gone all out, decorating the place, super proud of me for taking this next step. S looked amazing that night too. Smiling, laughing, like everything was normal. Like she hadn't been lying to me for years. The first crack came when some guy showed up. I didn't know him, hadn't invited him. Hell, I hadn't even heard of him before. But S clearly did. The second he walked in, I saw it in her face, that quick flash of panic before she plastered on a fake smile. I leaned in and asked, "Who the hell is that?" "Oh, he's just an old friend," she said, brushing it off. Her tone was way too casual, too forced. I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. And it turns out, my gut was right. S starts drinking, getting loud. He's chatting with people, throwing back beers, and at first, I don't think much of it. But then he starts talking about S. At first, it's harmless, old stories from back when they used to hang out. But then he slips. Says something like, "Yeah, S and I were on and off for years. Surprised she finally settled down with someone." The room gets quiet. I swear you could hear a pin drop. I shot a look at S, and her face went pale. "What's he talking about?" I ask, trying to keep my voice low, though the tension's already in my chest. She waves it off again, but her voice is shaky this time. "He's drunk. Don't listen to him. It was nothing serious." But it didn't feel like nothing. And then A, clearly feeling no shame, laughs and says, "Does he know about the other guys too, S? Or is that still your little secret?" Everything around me just froze. I stared at her, waiting for her to say something, to deny it, to do anything. But she didn't. She just stood there, looking like she'd been caught red-handed. I didn't even wait for an explanation. I left. Just walked out of the party, out of my own engagement celebration, with everyone staring after me, including my family. I could hear S calling my name as I walked down the driveway, but I wasn't about to stop and let her twist things. I just needed to get out of there, to breathe, to figure out what the hell was going on. For the next 2 days I ignored her. Calls, texts, everything. I didn't want to hear whatever bullshit excuse she had lined up. I stayed at a friend's place, trying to wrap my head around everything. This woman, the one I thought I was going to marry, had been lying to me for God knows how long. And not just about some random ex. This guy, A, was clearly a big part of her life, a part she'd conveniently left out. Finally, on the 3rd day, I agreed to meet up with her. We sat down in a coffee shop, and the first thing out of her mouth wasn't even an apology. "You're really blowing this out of proportion," she said, crossing her arms like I was the one acting crazy. "Everyone has a past. What does it matter? That stuff was before we even met." I stared at her, stunned. "It matters because you fucking lied," I said, barely holding back my anger. "You told me your past relationships were casual. Clearly, that was a lie. How am I supposed to trust you now?" She rolled her eyes, like she couldn't believe I was making this into such a big deal. I didn't think it was worth bringing up. It's not like I'm with him now, right? I couldn't believe the audacity. "You didn't think it was worth telling me that you were still seeing him when we started dating? Or about the others he mentioned?" She shook her head, like it was all some big misunderstanding. "I didn't want to hurt you. I was trying to protect you. Those relationships didn't matter to me. They were just part of my past." That's when it hit me. She didn't feel bad for lying. She felt bad that she got caught. And now, instead of owning up to it, she was trying to turn it around on me, like I was overreacting. I stood up. "We're done. I'm not marrying someone I can't trust." That's when the waterworks started. She started crying, saying I was throwing away 2 years of our life together over something stupid. She even grabbed my arm, pleading with me. "Please, don't do this. We can work through this. You're seriously going to end everything because of some guy from my past? But I wasn't buying it. I pulled my arm away and walked out, leaving her sitting there with tears running down her face. I wasn't about to let her manipulate me into staying. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. Not by a long shot. First, she started calling all of our mutual friends, telling them her side of the story. Suddenly, I was the bad guy, the one who couldn't handle her having a history. She made it sound like I was being unreasonable, like I was some controlling asshole who wanted her to have no life before me. I got texts from people saying, "Come on, man, everyone has a past. Why are you being so harsh on her? And she's really sorry. You should give her another chance." What they didn't get, what S clearly wasn't telling them, was that this wasn't just about her past. It was about trust. She lied, plain and simple, and I couldn't look past that. My real friends, the ones who knew me, backed me up. They saw right through her bullshit. But the fact that she was out there, twisting the narrative to make me look like the villain, it pissed me off. She couldn't just own up to what she'd done. Instead, she had to make me the bad guy so she could play the victim. And when that didn't work, she showed up at my apartment. I was sitting on the couch minding my own business when there was a knock at the door. I opened it, and there she was, standing there with a suitcase, eyes red and puffy like she'd been crying for hours. "What the hell are you doing here?" I asked, immediately annoyed. "I don't have anywhere else to go," she said, her voice cracking. "I can't stay with my parents. They don't understand. Please, just let me stay for a few days. I need time to figure things out." I couldn't believe the audacity. "You think I'm gonna let you stay here after everything? No, you need to leave." She started crying again, right there in the hallway. "Please, just let me in. We were supposed to live together. This was supposed to be our place. I just need time to make things right." I stood there, staring at her, not budging. "You can cry all you want, but you're not staying here. We're done. You need to get that through your head." She didn't. She stood there, sobbing, making a scene. Neighbors were starting to peek out of their doors, probably wondering what the hell was going on. But I didn't care. I wasn't about to let her manipulate me with her tears. Eventually, she gave up. She wiped her face, grabbed her suitcase, and left. But not before giving me this look. Like she couldn't believe I was actually standing my ground. Like I was the one being heartless. I thought that would be the end of it. But then came the final straw. A few days later, she called me up, and this time, her tone was completely different. "You realize we've already put down deposits for the wedding, right?" she said, her voice cold. "The venue, the caterers, everything. My parents put up the money? You think you can just walk away from that?" It was all about the money now. She was trying to guilt-trip me into staying, using the fact that her parents had spent money on the wedding as leverage. I almost laughed at the audacity. "I don't care about the wedding," I said. "I'm not marrying you. Cancel it. I'm not paying for any of it." She tried to argue, saying we'd lose thousands of dollars, that it was irresponsible to just throw everything away. But I didn't care. At that point, I just wanted out. I wasn't going to let some deposits guilt me into marrying someone I couldn't trust. When that didn't work, she went nuclear. She called my mom. That was a mistake. She called my mother, sobbing on the phone about how devastated she was, how she just wanted to make things right. She thought my mom would take her side, maybe pressure me into reconsidering. But my mom's not one to be manipulated. She listened quietly, then said, "I raised my son to be a man of integrity. If he doesn't trust you, that's on you, not him." And then she hung up. S didn't call again after that. I made sure to block her on everything, phone, social media, the works. I wasn't about to let her weasel her way back in. I'd seen enough of her lies and manipulation to know exactly who she was. Maybe she thought she could keep pulling the same tricks, using guilt and tears to get her way, but not with me. Not anymore. A week after I cut contact, I started hearing from mutual friends that she was telling people I was overreacting, still playing the victim. She said I was ruining her life over some stupid secrets. As if trust wasn't the foundation of a relationship. But I didn't care. I was done with her. She could spin whatever story she wanted, but I knew the truth. In the end, I learned the hard way that love without trust isn't love at all. It's a performance, a lie you tell yourself to avoid facing the truth. And the truth was, she wasn't who I thought she was. And no amount of crying, manipulation, or guilt trips was going to change that. If there's anything to take away from this, it's this. Trust your gut, and don't let anyone, no matter how much you love them, make you doubt your own self-worth. You deserve better than lies. Oh, and if you're looking for more drama, I've got plenty of it. Hit subscribe, and I'll keep the stories coming.